कहो, क्या रिपोर्ट लाए हो?
पहला शो हर थिएटर में हाउसफुल। जैसे ही पब्लिक फिल्म देखकर बाहर निकली, हमने पूछा आपको फिल्म कैसी लगी, तो उन्होंने इतनी बड़ी मैडम को गालियां दी।
क्या मतलब?
आपकी दोनों फिल्में फ्लॉप हो गई। थिएटर के बाहर पब्लिक भौंक रही थी और थिएटर के अंदर कुत्ते।
किसको बोला पागल? कौन पागल?
मैं पागल।
किसको बोला पागल?
मैं पागल।
नहीं, मैं पागल। नहीं, मैं पागल। अरे भाई पागल ना।
You all know we watch some of those videos for pure entertainment. I don't mean any hate, but some of those are pure gold. Irrespective, we are here with our monthly dose of cringe and regressive content from all over India, just to wonder whether we have progressed from the ancient era of the 80s and 90s. And this is not a series just for self-reflection, because trust me, there's a lot of content that has the same connotations and problematic themes even today. Before I get into the video, I want to reference a scene that keeps on getting sent to me, and I want to address the fact that on how problematic content and its criticism requires context. And without context, jumping to conclusions and outrage almost loses out the authenticity of any criticism. So I was being sent the scene from Jayesh Bhai Jordar, where the family wants Ranveer Singh's character to get married again, with the hope that they will have a son. Ranveer Singh's sister tries her level best to dissuade the union by telling the new bride that he is violent and beats up women, only for the woman to say that if he is hitting her, she only may have done something wrong and that it's his right. The scene is not presented to highlight on how much of a norm the said patriarchy is, on how women feel that they are at fault for the abuse caused to them. But what is highlighted is the absurdity of her statement. The context is the shocked reaction of the sister for her to even believe in such dated principles. The sequence is not presented to glorify men and their acts of violence and to showcase the subservience of women, but to highlight that such thoughts are problematic under the guise of comedy, aka the shocked reaction of the sister. Now that I got that out of the way of the scene that I was being bombarded with, let's get to some of the most hilarious and problematic sequences from Indian cinema. So here is Tried&Refused Productions with 5 shocking Indian movie dialogues or scenes you won't believe were approved. Arkaru Vari Patha. One of the movies that I got the most backlash for was Arkaru Vari Patha starring Mahesh Babu. The commercial potboiler was something that I absolutely did not connect with, and what I faced was the wrath of a very loyal fan base. What became a talking topic about the film was the infamous slap scene. The interesting part is that the problem is not the slap itself, but the celebration of the sequence as a badass scene. You will see multiple theatre response videos on YouTube of theatres hooting and cheering as Mahesh Babu slaps Kirti Suresh. While the context can be debated, as Kirti wastes Mahesh Babu's loaned money into gambling and is unapologetic about it, his friend playing the mediator gets slapped by her for no fault of his, only for Mahesh Babu to retaliate back with the slap. Both parties are in the wrong, but what's saddening is the deafening cheering when the sequence is presented in a comedic light. Irrespective, the more problematic sequence actually in the film is the main character's insistence of communicating that he needs the girl to fall asleep. If his demands are not met, he blackmails her brother. Kirti Suresh is more or less sent over in a montage sequence as a commodity to comfort Mahesh Babu. The main character feels comforted by placing his feet on her before going to sleep. She is visibly uncomfortable initially regarding the same, only for the makers to progress the same trade-off as something that she starts missing, wanting that foot on her leg as now she's become accustomed to it. The context of harassment transitions to become of love, and it is all set in the foundation of being traded as a means to not get exposed. I was baffled by how the creators thought that this was in any way romantic or funny, and just another case of commercial cinema getting social context of relationships absolutely wrong. Mohabbat. I think we have to great lengths spoken about the roles of actors like Shakti Kapoor, Gulshan Grover and Ranjit in vintage Hindi films. Their main purpose used to be to harass anything that moves, and these sequences didn't really need to do anything with the main plotline. The sequences of harassment were not merely to highlight the trauma caused, but were showcased with a male gaze to arouse the audience more than anything else. The 1985 film Mohabbat, however, takes the cake of the most absurd opening sequence in the Hindi film industry. Thanks to Nagendra Yadav for sending me this on Instagram, but my god will it make you cringe. If that was not enough, Amjad Khan recommends Anil Kapoor a way to get to talk to his fiancée, who is very shy. The method being to blindfold the girl, almost make her die of asphyxiation, for her to scream out of fear and question the man's intentions. Because the dude can't get his way with her, he threatens her this way.
घर जाते ही मंगनी तोड़ दूंगा और कह दूंगा अपने माँ बाप से कि मुझे ये लड़की बिल्कुल अच्छी नहीं लगती और उसके बाद तुम्हारे ही गांव में जाकर कोई दूसरी लड़की देख लूंगा.
Only for the best vintage Hindi film reply for any romantic interaction to take place.
तुम मर्द हो ना, जितनी चाहो लड़कियां देख सकते हो, इसलिए तुम मुझे धमकाते हो. ठीक है, बड़े शौक से देखो लड़की, लेकिन जब उसे देखकर वापस जाओगे, तो रास्ते में मेरी लाश भी देख लेना.
It's almost like the reverse Uno card for any sequence. Feel cornered, threaten suicide, and the case is resolved. Pokiri. One of the most popular films that has been remade in several languages is the Telugu film Pokiri. While many of the language remakes have had their own interpretations of the original film, the beats of the screenplay have been more or less the same. But the Vijay and Asin Tamil remake really made me wonder on who greenlit the opening shot of Asin. For anyone who is of sound mind can make out why the scene has been shot a particular way. You have a hero listening to cricket commentary on the radio only for the actress to walk and hop, more importantly, in slow motion towards him. The man is so enamored by the run-up that he imagines himself as a cricketer. The camera angle does make it clear on what the point of the scene is, enunciating it even further with this wide shot that carries on in slow motion. Even the original Telugu version and the remake Hindi version are tasteful of the same introduction, but the Tamil version takes it to a whole new level of lewd. And then you wonder why there are intimacy coaches and the need for a more tasteful representation for women's bodies in Indian films. Joru Kagalam. I've countless number of times spoken about Govinda and his filmography, mostly with David Dhawan in the 90s, partly entertaining and partly ludicrous, especially on the way he hits on the opposite sex. I remember talking about Jodi number 1 and the sheer harassment Twinkle Khanna undergoes in the film under the guise of comedy, cornering the woman to make sure that he can physically take advantage of her. The sequence in Joru Kagalam, however, is vastly different, and its problematic notion of the stereotypical portrayal of the LGBTQI community. The duo of Govinda and Johnny Lever are scouting for probable candidates who will be up for marriage for a huge sum of money with daughters who have a huge inheritance, and just as a comedic gag, they come across a man offering his son for the same. Effeminate and animated in demeanor and body language, as people from the community are nothing more and nothing less than just that for creators.
ये तो कोई बीच की चीज लगता है, तू बीच में आ जा भाई.
ये आधी अधूरी सामान लेके क्यों घूम रहा है तू?
अरे कोई साथ में लेकर घूमने लायक चीज है बे.
The man is just made the butt of the joke and is called names throughout the sequence.
ये जब पैदा हुआ था चेकिंग के लिए वो लोग नहीं आए थे.
It is not shocking that the education regarding marginalized communities is still at its nascent stage in this country, especially if you look at the masses. But my god, is it cringe to go through the dialogues targeted at the man in this scene.
एक बात बताऊं क्या? इसको रोज शाम को ना धूप पर छोड़ो, रोज रात को थोड़ा सा पैसा ले आएगा.
International Khiladi. This movie from the Khiladi franchise has to be the most funny and absurd, so I'll just leave this month's MATLAB KUCH episode with a classic song from the film.
तू लड़की गोरी चिट्टी है, तेरी बहना मोटी काली है. किसको बोला पागल? नहीं मैं पागल.
And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below whether you have some video ideas for our channel. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle is right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.